Okay, guys, give me a quick second to adjust my brightness here. I gotta show you guys this. This is epic. Okay, so we don't want it too crazy bright. This is a white object we're filming. Alright, so check this out. So it flew really well, and I knew that I needed a little bit more weight, but I decided on top of that, I actually wanted a functional landing gear. And it's actually a really good landing gear, guys. And so I'm going to take a second and show you guys how I've made this. It wasn't tough, and even despite that bit of abuse, it's still straight and nice. And so I've also angled this guy just slightly up, and it should actually glide quite nicely with the landing gear. Oh, look at that, guys. Oh, dude. I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm going to show it to you here. But it just flew immaculately across my room. Just like that. And I felt the tail hit me too. You guys could hear that, no doubt. But forgive the mess. But it flew great. And I'm going to not throw it anymore. But I just had to throw it a couple times and see if it would fly. See this little angle here? On this little spar? Okay, so that's now a lift surface. And I've got this. And it flies so nice, you guys. It's... wow. I'm getting really impressed with this build because it's a lot stronger than I would have thought. It survived hard toss, one after another, and hard landings. And it's doing great, which tells me when I make it an RC plane, I like it because I did it with glue gun glue, and I actually put no glue gun glue on the bottom of this, okay? This material is pretty smooth, but even still, it wants to drag, and when it does, you can feel it. It's like pulling it like brakes, which is so perfect because you can just land and it just stops and it just breaks. It's so beautiful. That being said, I tried it and it works great, and I don't want to throw it around too much because I don't want to break it, but I already know this is going to be an absolutely epic little airplane. So I said I would show you these, and I'm just going to bring this around and this around so that I can set up kind of a stand so I can show it to you in some detail while I explain to you what I've done here. So I have some samples of what I've done, and all I've done is take, when you cut these boxes, there are plenty of places like this where there's a corner. So I cut the corner out, like a corner like this. Cut it out till you have something like this, or like this. And you have a corner. Now you take the corner and you fold it in half. You glue the tip, you bend it upward in the middle kind of thing. You glue the other tip, and you end up with these little tiny skis. Then you glue this in the middle that holds the ski open in the middle, and it makes it so that you have a pinched end with glue gun glue, a pinched end with glue gun glue, and it's open in the middle. Other than that, it's just this, guys. Just a little corner cut off the foam box. This was just a panel off the foam box, and it's strong enough. I can pick it up by that. And it needs to be decently strong because it is now generating a tiny bit of lift. You see that little angle? That's beautiful. And I know now that that is a beautiful flying angle as well. I got that right. And so, I continue to evolve this build and to make it better and better for you guys and for me, because I wanted this to be for me. It needs to be truly slow flying. What I mean by that is it's one thing for it to slow fly. It's another thing to fly well slow. And I want it to fly well slow, which means there's a lot of engineering that goes into that. One of those things is my center of gravity, you guys. And with the addition of this, I guarantee you, it will center of gravity closer towards the front of the wing now. And I can already tell it does, but it's still pretty much in the middle of the wing. And that's actually still a little tail heavy, so we need to go a little back. And it's still pretty much right around the same spot. That is one of the things I'm finding. This thing flies so locked in, guys, right there. Okay, so that little bit of weight didn't really change anything. I just added at least a gram of weight in my landing gear, probably 2. and it's CG's just about in the same place. Even though I have a fair bit of weight in the landing gear hanging over the edge, it's still CGing in about the middle of the wing. It'll actually take the 9 or 10 grams to make it sit all the way to the front. But you watch, when I'm done this, I'll have servos up here, I'll have servos in here, and the whole thing will end up being right around 10 grams heavier than it sits right now, at least as a base, and then the weight of the battery. But that's okay, because all this is pretty resilient, and I can easily make more. I mean, any of the pieces that I break are easy to reproduce. All it takes is a burger and fries. And so there's that. So the only thing that's left to consider now is the making of my ailerons, but I actually don't want to do that until it's being made, in terms of being built with the control surfaces, and part of the reason is I don't want to damage it. I've done enough testing on it. I know that it flies. Every time I've made a mod, I flew it and tested it, and it flies every time. It actually needs very little adjustment, very little maneuvering or hankering or dankering or whatever to make it work. And right now, I am seeing that that little tail skid needs adjustment. I need to make a stiffer one. So I'm actually going to remove that and do it with this guy. See how it's got the little arc in it? That actually makes this piece much, much stronger. So I'm going to make a little one like that, and I'll show you in a second.